So hard to talk about, but let's talk about what you do remember about that day. Ella Seaver, Grace Fisher, Lily Walsenack were together in the same classroom that morning. Matt Holden and Henry Terafay in another. Emma Ahrens in a third.
We hid in the cubbies and our teacher read some winter stories to us, like the Nutcracker. And before we went to hide into the cubbies, the loudspeaker went on, and this was probably, I would say, like the most traumatizing part of the whole thing, because we heard our principal and she told us, like, kids, like, go hide into your safe spots, and then we heard like a popping sound, and then the phone like kind of went off.
You actually heard the gunshots?
I knew that it had to have been bad because our teachers were super concerned and were keeping their voices down, but definitely like a weird situation between knowing something was wrong but not knowing how bad it was.
You were actually in the classroom with the shooter?
Yeah. We were reading a book in the front of the classroom before it happened. And I remember a couple days before, they were doing construction on the roof. So when the poppings sounds started happening, we thought it was just more construction on the roof, or they're just building something, don't worry. But I remember being at the front of the classroom, and he came in and stood right next to me, and I watched all my friends drop, and one of the victims did not make it. He told me and a couple other people to run, and we did. We ran out of the classroom, out of the school, and on the way we saw bodies in the hallways and doors blown off the hinges, and we just ran and ran and ran out of the school, out of the parking lot.
How haunting. He told you to run. Henry, I think it was you have that famous photo.
Yeah, I have a famous picture of me and my sister. I'm standing there crying, covering my face, and I don't remember exactly what's going on, obviously, in that picture. The only moment I have is obviously just that snapshot.
Once we finally got out of the school, I remember we were walking to the firehouse, and my mom ran up to me crying, and I didn't know what happened at the time. I didn't understand, the gravity of the whole thing, but I knew if my mom was crying, my mom was so scared that, something horrible had happened. I'd never seen her like that before, and I never have since. I hope I never do.
I know this must be so hard.